Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, in this recording, we are going to start lesson number 12 in our program Articulations and Characteristics. We start Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa bis-salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ونحمده سبحانه وتعالى ونشكره الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Now let us see what we have in this recording. First of all, this is a reminder of what we already studied before. We already studied Makhraj al-Jawf as an exit area where the three letters of mad tabi'i, the normal mad, exit from the alif, the waw sukoon with a dhamma letter before it, the ya sukoon with a kasra letter before it. We also studied makhraj al-halq, the throat, as an exit, where we took that there are 6 letters exiting from this from the throat, and these letters are ha, hamza, from the very furthermost part of the throat, ayn, ha, from the middle part, and ghayn, kha, from the closest part of the throat, against, of course, compared with the outer part of the lips. We also took makhraj al-lisan, the tongue, as an exit, and all these letters exit from the tongue. 18 letters exit from the tongue from different specific exits. 10 specific or special exits are in the tongue, exiting the 18 letters that we already talked about. Today we are going to talk about the lips as an exit area, and we have here the lips are divided into 2 parts, and also we did mention this in lesson number 2 in general. Now the lips, we have a lower lip and an upper lip. Each lip is divided into 2 parts. The outer part of the lip, which is the dry part, the part that we see when we see anybody, we see the outer part, and it's a dry area. But we also have the inner lip inside, which is a wet area inside the lip. So the lip has 2 sides, an outer side which is dry, an inner side which is wet. Okay? From the lips, we can see that there are 4 letters exiting from the lips. We mentioned this already, and these are the mim, ba, waw, and fa. So 4 lips exit from the lips. We also are going to take makhraj al-khayshum, the nasal, as an exit, where there are 2 letters exiting from it, the mim and the noon. Now let us see what Imam Jazri said regarding the lips as a makhraj. He said, وَمِن بَطْنِ الشَّفَةِ فَالْفَاء مَعَ أَطْرَافِ الثَّنَايَا الْمُشْرِفَةِ. Again, وَمِن بَطْنِ الشَّفَةِ فَالْفَاء مَعَ أَطْرَافِ الثَّنَايَا الْمُشْرِفَةِ. This is regarding the letter fa. What does this mean? The translation of this is that the letter fa is pronounced, it exits from the inner lower lip, the wet part of the lower lip, against the upper incisors edge, the edge of the upper 2 incisors against the inner lower lip, which is the wet part of the lower lip. So just let us pronounce this letter and let us say F, F, what happens is that the edge of the upper incisors goes down to touch the inner part of the lower lip. This is where the makhraj of the letter fa is. We have to stop at this word, al-mushrifa. What does this word mean in Arabic? He said, Ibn al-Jazri said, وَمِن بَطْنِ الشَّفَا مع أطراف الثنايا المشرفة. You know, when we say the word al-shurfa, al-shurfa in Arabic means the balcony. Yes, the balcony. This is the balcony. And what do people use the balcony for? Either to sit, and have an outside beautiful sitting, and also to have a look at the lower street, for example. Okay, so the balcony means whoever is standing in the balcony is upper and looking at the lower scenery. Okay, and this is, subhanallah, and this is, the Arabic is just beautiful. If anybody has the opportunity to study Arabic language, you will never regret doing so. Really, it's an amazing language. So what did he mean by وَمِن بَطْنِ الشَّفَا فَالْفَا? بَطْنِ الشَّفَا means, الشَّفَا means the lip, بَطْنِ الشَّفَا, the inside part of the lip. But which one? Is it the upper lip or the lower lip? He did not mention it. But we understand because he says that أطراف الثنايا, the edges of the incisors. Which incisors? The down or the upper ones? This word al-mushrifa explains that the incisors are the upper, mushrifa, as exactly like standing in the balcony. These are the upper ones, and against the lower lip, the inside of the lower lip, as though the upper incisors are those on the balcony looking against the lower lips. Okay, so I'm trying, to make it closer, this scene. So the makhraj of the fa is by using the edge of the upper incisors against the lower lip from inside, the inside of the lower lip. And as we are used to, if we want to pronounce any letter and know the exit point of it, we use it sukoon in its sukoon form, and we put a hamza fatha before it, and we pronounce the letter F. I have some questions here regarding this letter. And is the exit closed of this letter? We can say, we can study and memorize the exit of the letter fa is not closed, but we need to experience it, to feel it. So let us pronounce the letter F. It's not closed. Why? Because there's also a lot of air running. F, with this letter, there's a lot of air running. So is it therefore whispered or apparent? Of course it's whispered. It's whispered because there's a lot of air. So what does this mean? What does it mean that it's whispered and not apparent in regards of the vocal cords? It means that the vocal cords do not vibrate when we pronounce the fa. Let's experience it again. F. No vibration whatsoever in the vocal cords. It's therefore whispered, not apparent. Does the throat narrows? No. Does the rear tongue rises up? F. What do you feel? Keep on experimenting the letter. And as we mentioned before, and the scholars mention this expression, they taste the letters. They taste it. They experiment the letter. So if you say F, do you feel that the throat is narrowed? No. Is the rear tongue rising upwards? No. What about the middle tongue? F. It's in its normal position. Does it take a concave shape? No. And this proves that the three important points regarding the elevated letters does not apply to the letter fa. So the letter fa is not elevated. It's a lowered letter. And is the tongue opened or closed? Closed like itbaq in the letters, in the four letters of itbaq, the sad, dad, ta, dha. So is it closed? No, it's opened. Okay, because the tongue does not rises and closes against the upper jaw. So it's a lowered letter, whispered. It is soft. It has rakhawa. The sound runs and it's opened. It is not closed. It doesn't have itbaq. Okay, so this is what we have to say regarding the letter fa. Let us take the mistakes that occur when pronouncing the letter, knowing why they happen and how they can be corrected. The first thing is, regarding the letter fa, it's sometimes pronounced unclear because of the weakness of its whisper. Yes, of course, the whispering character weakens the letter. It's not a strong character. It's a weak character. It weakens the letter. Okay? So, for example, here, I would like to read this first, that pronouncing the whisper allows the letter to be heard. One has to press a little with the upper incisors against the lower inside lip, where this is the makhraj, this is the exit, to allow the air to flow. So, for example, if I say فَكَثَّرْ fa, I did not use the makhraj properly, and I did not press to give it its whispering character. Let us pronounce it properly. Fa. I'm pressing the edge of the upper incisors against the the inside of the lower lip, so that the letter fa is heard properly. Fa. If I don't do this, it's going to be fa-ka. Okay? Fa. Many people do this. We need to hear the letter fa by pressing a little bit so that the whispering sound is heard, so that the letter is totally pronounced. Here, this word is read فَكَثَّرَكُمْ. Same thing here. The fa is a sukoon. تَفْعَلُونَ. But if I don't give it its rakhawa, if I don't apply the whispering character, it's going to sound like this. تَفْعَلُونَ. No fa is heard. Okay, so we need to press on the exit point. Let's see other mistakes. Pronouncing the letter with a sound like the V sound in English. And this is very common, especially those who are Urdu speakers, because as I imagine, they have the V sound in their language. But we also do this. I mean, because the V is in English, so people are used to this sound. So they would say, well, the va, va, there. There. It's not a V. The letter fa in pronunciation was affected by the preceding letter dad. We need to lower the pronunciation of the fa so that it's not a v. Yes, the dad, we say well, da, va. So we need to return the mouth. We need to go to the exact makhraj of the fa, and we should not be affected with the letter dad, because it does affect dava. It's easier than saying wadafa, fa, wadafa. Okay, so this is another mistake that readers do. These are the main two mistakes regarding the letter fa, either pronouncing it as a V or not giving it its characters that it requires so that we can hear the letter properly. Thank you for your attendance, and inshallah in part 2, lesson 12, we are going to continue the letters pronounced from the lips, inshallah. Thank you so much for your attendance. I'll meet you in the next recording. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.